4.9 seconds.
Stand by.
We are underway in the second of 3 heats here in the opening event of the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games, The Pool. I'm Sean Woodland alongside 2009 CrossFit Games champion Tanya Wagner, and we are coming to you live from the Willett Aquatic Center in Irvine, California. So it's Rory Zambard out of the water for Zambard in lane number 7. She won the Northwest region, and now every woman just about out of the water and onto the first 3 bar muscle ups. And let's remind everyone that they have to hop off the bar after each repetition.
And I'm already seeing some athletes who didn't properly dry off and chalk themselves enough the first time, and they have to go back in between reps.
Now in lane 7, Zambard's back in the water. Next to her, Alessandra Pacelli in lane 8. She's in the water. And in lane 6, Stacy Tovar, your 3 early leaders. Now in lane 4, Cassie Lance out of the South Central region. She is back in the water. Anna Tunnicliffe is there, but it is in lane 7, Rory Zambard, who is your early leader. So in the middle of the pool in lane 6, 7, and 8. Zambard in lane 7, next to her in lane 6 is Stacy Tovar, and then in lane number 8, Alessandra Pacelli, the 3 women battling it out for the early lead. But now Rory Zambard starting to open up some distance here on her fellow 2 competitors.
Zambard just did her flip turn back at her transition, the 25 meters. She is a swimmer. That is her background. The pool is her friend. She's going to be fine in the pool. She's taking her time to get her chalk and her hands dried off. It was very smart. She wasn't the first one out of the pool in the first round, but she wasn't the first one to the bar. But she's still the first one back in the second round. So it's not always about how long your transitions are if you're smart about what you're doing.
Next to her with that tape on her shoulder is Stacy Tovar. Tovar came into the games. She's on the bottom right of your screen with a pretty banged up left shoulder. She's just trying to manage that here. You can see that's very, very heavily taped.
She fought through regionals, made it through regionals to get here, tried to hide the injury, but she had to take 2 full weeks off of that shoulder following the regionals, and you just can't take any more time than that before coming out here to the games.
Your leader right there, Rory Zambard, looking very smooth on the freestyle. There's the flip turn, and she makes her way back. Next to her is Alessandra Pacelli. Pacelli on the right, touching, turning, and going, so losing a little time there. Zambard a couple lengths ahead of Alessandra Pacelli, and now Stacy Tovar's back in the pool. Tovar now going with the breaststroke. And in lane number 4, Cassidy Lance now pushing for 3rd place, as is Anna Tunnicliffe.
Yeah, Zambard clearly the best stroke we've seen all day so far. Wonderful stroke, just glides through the water. Nice and smooth. I predict she's going to keep that consistent pace the whole way through for the water.
Zambard not the only member of her family competing. Her mother, Lisa Long, qualified for the 55 to 59 division in the Masters. So fitness, the trademark in this family, is Zambard now back on the bar to wrap up her 2nd set of bar muscle-ups. Meanwhile, in lane 8, it's Alessandra Pacelli trying to push Zambard for the lead. Pacelli from Diablo CrossFit, one of the team powerhouses here at the games.
She was at college rowing, college crew at St. Mary's College of California. Division I, very strong athlete.
So now neck and neck is Zambard and Pacelli next to her, but Zambard just chewing up ground and still very efficient. Much more smooth in the water than Pacelli, but Pacelli managing to hang close here.
And we're still early on. They're only on round 3, just finishing round 3. So it's still early on in the game. They don't want to start pushing each other too much at this point. You want to still focus on yourself, focus on your speed, on what you can handle, and don't get too caught up in your competitors.
There's the lead that Zambard has opened up as they were traveling down the pool in the other direction. She and Pacelli were about neck and neck. So now Zambard on round 4. She goes to the towel, dries off the hands, picks up the chalk, and she will have 3 bar muscle-ups to go here before she can start her 5th round. Meanwhile, Stacy Tovar in lane number 6 is coming back down the pool. She will start her 4th round. We'll see how that shoulder holds up here for Stacy Tovar.
Rory Zambard, while she is new to the CrossFit Games, she has been CrossFitting for 8 years. One of the longest training athletes that have trained with the CrossFit programming. and she looks comfortable on the bar. She is smart, drying off her hands again, making sure she's ready. But when you've been training with CrossFit that long, you know how these workouts feel, you know what to expect, and I'm sure this is not her first pool workout.
Lane number 10, Anna Tunnicliffe, she is pushing Alessandra Pacelli for second place. Rory Zambard still your leader in lane number 7, but now it is Anna Tunnicliffe passing Alessandra Pacelli in the water as Zambard makes a turn or makes her way back down for round number 5.
And Anna Tunnicliffe, again, no stranger to water, but she's typically not swimming in it. She is a gold medal, Olympic gold medalist from the Beijing Olympics. She is an Olympic sailor, and a fantastic one at that.
So now Rory Zambard hopping out of the water and starting her 5th set of 3-bar muscle-ups. The time to beat is 16:08.9. That was Emily Friedman in the heat prior to this. Zambard on the towel, drying off her hands. Meanwhile, Anna Tunnicliffe is there. Tunnicliffe sparing a look down to see where Zambard is to try to make up that ground. And now Alessandra Pacelli finally getting out of the pool. So on the left is Rory Zambard, on the right, Anna Tunnicliffe. And they are currently battling for first place. Past the 6-minute mark, 16:08, again the time to beat, and these two women well ahead of that.
Just slipped off the bar, and I was concerned with ripping. Really, if your hands are wet, it's so easy to rip your hands on the bar, and you don't want to do that early, this early especially.
So that's Anna Tunnicliffe. She's struggling through her bar muscle-ups. Meanwhile, Rory Zambard already back down the pool and putting more distance between herself and Tunnicliffe and Alessandra Pacelli, who are trying to push her for first place. So right now it's a battle for second place between Anna Tunnicliffe and Alessandra Pacelli. Pacelli's back in the pool, so she has taken over second place for Tunnicliffe, and once again trying to chase down Rory Zambard, who is on her 6th set of 3-bar muscle-ups.
If Tunnicliffe wants to come back, she's going to need to gain her composure when she gets out of the pool and wait just a little bit longer.
Well, all these women can do bar muscle-ups. We know that. So it's hard to make up ground there. But if you don't have a proficiency in the water, I mean, it's really hard to make up a lead.
It's true. But you have to remember, there are a lot of transitions. So if you even take any extra precious seconds on the bar muscle-ups and you have a miss like Tunnicliffe, that's taking even more seconds. She needs to dry her hands off. Every missed effort is still wasting seconds.
So Rory Zambard in the red swim cap. On the right side of your screen, that was her final bar muscle up in her round of 6. Goggles back on, and she is back in the water. Next to her was Alessandra Pacelli. Pacelli currently sits in second place, but she is going to have a hard time catching Rory Zambard, who is on pace to set the new mark to beat. The current best time belongs to Emily Friedman, 16:08.9 seconds, and it's looking like that is not going to last as Zambard continues to move smoothly through the water and now back down to start round number 7.
It's nearly impossible to keep up with that speed, not having the same technique that Zambard does, and some of these girls, I think, are trying to do that.
And we've seen a lot of women, especially in that first heat, change their swimming technique early. Some went to a side stroke, some went to a breaststroke. Rory Zambard has gone freestyle the whole way here and doesn't look like she's slowed down at all. And now back out of the pool to start round number 7. Drying off her hands, taking a look down the floor to see where people are. She has plenty of time. Alessandra Pacelli's next to her in lane number 8. She's making her way back down the pool, and then will join Zambard on the pull-up rig. But Zambard has plenty of time here, not only to hold off the rest of this heat, but also beat the current best mark in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Emily Friedman, 16:08.9 seconds. Zambard 1 to go, and then back in the pool, and she'll start round number 8.
Nice and strong, full kip swing to get herself over that bar for the bar muscle up. Nice and strong. She actually looks stronger on that round than she did previous rounds.
Zambard, when she touches, she will start her 8th round. 10 rounds here in a 25-minute time cap. Zambard, though, in no danger of flirting with that. She is, however, very much on the lead pace. The time to beat 16:08.9, and Zambard easily reeling that in. She is all by herself in first place. The battle for second is still between Alessandra Pacelli and Anna Tunnicliffe. Zambard on the edge of the pool, pulling herself up onto the deck, and now 3 more bar muscle-ups, her 8th of 10 sets.
You know, you just said it, pulling herself out of the pool. We said that it's the same muscles being used when they're swimming as they are when they're doing their bar muscle-up and pulling, but they're also doing essentially a muscle-up getting out of that pool as well. And some of these girls have actually slowed down how they've gotten out of the pool.
Zambard going back to the chalk. Don't forget, just because you dry your hands doesn't mean that bar's not getting wet. I mean, the rest of your body's making contact, so there is still moisture up there that needs to be dealt with.
That's a good point.
Zambard 1 to go. And now she'll close out round 8 as we're approaching the 11-minute mark. So 5 minutes for Rory Zambard to complete 2 more rounds. And the way she's moving through the water, that doesn't look like it's going to be much of a problem. Meanwhile, Alessandra Pacelli in lane number 8 is trying to hang on to second place. She is on her 8th round and through one of her 3 bar muscle-ups. Zambard making the touch and working her way back for round number 9.
Just so impressive that she can maintain this this stroke. And obviously she's a swimmer. She can do that. Freestyle is her thing. But it just shows even her level and her lung capacity, you know, compared to the other women who are going breaststroke, who are going backstroke so that they can get even more oxygen.
She's back on the deck. 3 bar muscle-ups to go. This is her 9th round, drying her hands. And she's just looked exactly the same through every round here, taking about the same time to make her way up and down the pool. Same amount of time getting her hands ready. So she clearly had a plan and had a pace here that she knew she wanted to keep.
That's what you have to do. You have to know yourself. She knew that this is going to be her event. This is going to be where she can make up some distance and make some changes if she wants to set herself apart from the other girls.
So in lane number 7 is Rory Zambard continuing to lead. Anna Tunnicliffe and Alessandra Pacelli battling it out for second place. And right now it's Tunnicliffe who is opening up a lead on Pacelli for second place.
And Tunnicliffe is a competitor. We said that. She's an Olympic gold medalist. She is a competitor. That is her thing. When you saw her earlier with Zambard, she just couldn't keep up with her. But I think if she's neck and neck, that's where you see her push.
But it's Rory Zambard, her final set of 3, and she has plenty of time. So Zambard will be your new overall leader. She's out of the pool, 3 more bar muscle-ups, and then again she has to swim back to the other end. The time to beat in the upper left-hand portion of your screen, that belongs to Emily Friedman, who put that mark up in the first heat. This is the second of 3 heats in our first of 12 scored events here at the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games. There will be 3 per day, the first 3 today, and then 9 more on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Zambard struggling through that rep. Now she has 1 more to go. And it'll be back in the pool, and that's where Zambard has been very comfortable in this event, wasting no time. So Rory Zambard will be your new leader, and Zambard picking up the pace as she knows she has just 1 length to go. So Rory Zambard going to crush Emily Friedman's mark of 16:08.9.
Very impressive performance all the way through. 8 years of CrossFitting, training, and she is just pulling it out here. First time in the CrossFit Games, a rookie out of Washington. Tremendous performance. I'm very impressed with her consistency all the way through.
So 14:06.5. Meanwhile, in lane 4, Cassidy Lance has overtaken Tunnicliffe and Pacelli, and Lance is on her way towards a second place finish, and she will sit in second place overall, as she will also beat Emily Friedman's time of 16:08. So Cassidy Lance out of the South Central region, she is in. She will finish second place, a time for Cassidy Lance of 14:36.6 seconds.
Man, she picked it up there at the end. Last couple of rounds, she just picked up the intensity. She maintained her composure early on, but when she had the extra gas, she used it.
Now in lane 8, it's Alessandra Pacelli out of the pool, and Pacelli will finish third, and she will sit in third place overall. Alessandra Pacelli, a final time of 14:58.4 seconds. Pacelli congratulating her fellow competitors, the top three. It was Rory Zambard, though, now your new overall leader. There's a 25-minute time cap on this, and right now it looks like every woman has a chance at making it inside of that time. That's Anna Tunnicliffe in lane 10. Tunnicliffe at one point was pushing Zambard for first, and then she was battling out Pacelli for second. Cassidy Lance was able, though, to come from behind and take second place. So now Tunnicliffe trying to finish in fourth in this heat, but she's still ahead of the time to beat, and she should get in there, and she will be fourth overall. 16:08.9 is your time. Tunnicliffe has to hurry, and she looks like she will make it. Just a few lengths to go in the middle of your screen. Anna Tunnicliffe has to hurry now out of the pool. 16:07, 16:08. We'll see what it is officially for Anna Tunnicliffe. 16:08.2, so she edges out Emily Friedman by 0.7 seconds and now sits in fourth place overall. But one more heat to go here in the first of 12 scored events at the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games.
Had Anna Tunnicliffe been closer to Cassidy Lance, I feel she would have gone even faster. You can already see her competitive drive when she sees she's side by side, or when she's all alone there in the pool. She dug in. I think we're going to see more of her in this competition with that competitive nature.
Stacy Tovar in lane 6, closing out her event. So Tovar with that heavily taped shoulder. Her final length, Tovar will hop out and finish up her event. So Stacy Tovar out of the pool, and now we'll have to step on her finish pad. So Stacy Tovar with a time.
We're used to seeing Stacy Tovar at the top of the list, Sean, and this is a little uncharacteristic, but because of that shoulder injury, obviously she's dealing with a lot. She told me yesterday the first rep always hurts the worst, and during the event usually she can block it out, but I'm really concerned with how this event is going to affect the later ones.
17:03.2 for Stacy Tovar. She's trying to shake the water out of her ear. So the top three right now, and these are top three overall, as all three women beat the previous time to beat. Rory Zambard, 14:06.5, and Cassidy Lance with a great effort late, 14:36.6 for her second place finish, and that was Alessandra Pacelli in third. Approaching the 18-minute mark, there's a 25-minute time cap, and right now everyone is on either their 8th or 9th round, and there are the women who will take to the pool for the final heat, and a lot of big names who will try to chase down Rory Zambard. Michelle Latondra, a former competitive swimmer, she's in the back there in the front of your middle of your screen out of the Canada East region, so she's someone who can move through the pool well, but we're still finishing up the second of 3 heats here for the women. 18 minutes 30 seconds gone by. And now in lane number 5, it's Michelle Kinney from the Central East getting out of the pool and closing up her event. One more heat to go here for the women. We will be back at the Woolen Aquatic Center in Irvine, California for more live coverage of the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games.
Number one, CrossFit loves strong women. Not all sports do that, but we do.
The other day in the park, my son's friends, they asked me, like, how many pull-ups can you do?
Number two, and I think this is quite unique, we compete in mixed gender teams.
I was like, yeah, well, 45, I think. And I was like, whoa.
That's one of the things I really like about CrossFit.
And that's when I kind of realized that it's kind of cool to be able to do stuff like that.
It's going to help girls, young, strong, promising girls all over the world, find themselves. I like that.
We're all human beings. We all can laugh at the same jokes. We all can share in the same heartbreaks. It doesn't matter if you're a CrossFitter or you're a water skier. We're all trying to find our moment where nothing else matters, everything else falls away, and you're so in the zone that it doesn't even feel like real life.
There's kind of like two pieces to rock crawling that's really fun. The go slow, crawling over rocks and stuff is really technical. The other side is to be able to go flying through the desert really fast. If I've got a good cycle of CrossFit going on, then I don't feel so guilty coming out here and staying up all night and eating whatever and drinking whatever.
Welcome back to the Willett Aquatic Center in Irvine, California for our continuing live coverage of the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games. I'm Sean Woodland alongside 2009 CrossFit Games champion Tanya Wagner, and we are closing out the second of 3 heats here for the women in the opening event here at the CrossFit Games.
And this was a much faster heat than the previous heat that we saw. 3 women surpassing and beating the overall time to beat from the first heat.
Tiffany Hendrickson is one of the women who are still going through this event, but all of them are on their final round. So Tiffany Hendrickson working her way back down the pool. She'll have 3 more bar muscle-ups, and then she'll swim her way back down and close out her event. There is a 25-minute time cap to this event, so Hendrickson is going to have to hurry here if she wants to get inside of that mark. A couple other athletes also out there, Amanda Goodman and Ashley Moe, both of them on their final set of bar muscle-ups. Goodman back in the pool, so looking like she will get inside of the 25-minute time cap. The winner of this event, 100 points. After that, 5 points fewer for second place through 6th place, and then 2 points fewer from 7th to 30th, and then 1 point from 31st to 46th. Unlike the regionals, the highest point total in the games gets you on top of the podium. So Amanda Goodman now out of the pool, and Goodman will close out with a time of 22:29.4.
You can see Ashley Moe right now. She's using that block to step up on. Ashley Moe is only 5'2". That bar that she's jumping up on is 7'2". So that is a far jump for someone. This is not a bar that you're excited if you were on the shorter side. So for her, she has to step up to use that block. And you see she's trying to get a big kip swing. Just fatigued, couldn't hold on. At that point, that's all core. Being able to stabilize your core. And I'm sorry, this is Tiffany Hendrickson. I said Ashley Moe. This is Tiffany Hendrickson, still one of our shorter athletes at 5'3". And she got her final rep.
So she's done. So she looks like she will get inside the 25-minute time cap. Meanwhile, in lane 12, Ashley Moe, another one of the shorter athletes, is having a conversation with her judge as she's sitting on the deck and now has to go back down. So she may not have touched the wall, but it looks like she has to recomplete that last swim. So that's going to definitely hurt her chances. But meanwhile, Tiffany Hendrickson is going to get in with time to spare underneath the 25-minute time cap. So Hendrickson closes out her event with a time of 23 minutes, 50.2 seconds. Rory McKernan is with a man who tested this event and has some insight on what these athletes are going through. Ro?
Hey, thanks, Sean. I have here with me Chase Ingram, one of the guinea pigs, as you mentioned. He's also part of our media team. Chase, You were a 4-year swimmer at SMU. Talk to me about this workout when you tested it.
Initially, I thought I could go pretty fast on the swim, just based off my background a little bit, and I wasn't quite sure how the bar muscle-ups were going to come into play, but we found out that the bar muscle-ups really weren't the factor. This is more of a swim workout than it is a gymnastics workout.
And now backstage, you were watching the women warming up for the final heat. What are you seeing back there?
I see a lot of nervous faces. Everyone's really quiet, but they're also doing a lot of reps. They're getting in the pool more than I think they should be, and then getting up on that bar, just trying different techniques. You can see everyone's pretty nervous about this event.
If you had to pick one for the final heat, who are you looking at?
The final heat, I'm probably looking at Michelle Laton. She's has a water polo background and has some decent gymnastic skills, so I think that comfortability factor is going to play more than maybe water experience itself for other people.
Right on, cool. Thank you, Chase, and back to you, Sean.
Thanks, Ro. Chase Ingram was the man who tested this event for us. He turned in a time of 12 minutes, 31 seconds, so very impressive for Chase Ingram. So far, though, the top 3 women overall all came out of this heat. In 3rd place, Alessandra Pacelli.
Nice and smooth on that swim. And Alessandra was able to just crank out each muscle up that she needed.
And then Pacelli, who at one point was pushing for 1st place and also 2nd place, finishes in 3rd. In 2nd place, Cassidy Lance, who came out of nowhere at the end there.
Snuck right in.
And finished in 2nd, so Lance looking very strong there on that bar muscle up. And then looked like she just had to get through the swim. So Lance turns in a 2nd place performance, but your overall leader right now is Rory Zambard, who, if you had one word to summarize this event for her, consistent.
Solid.
Rory Zambard, very good in the water and very smooth on the bar muscle-ups. Amanda Krenz is with the overall leader. Amanda?
Roy, congratulations. That was a really good performance. When you came out here today, because you're a CrossFit rookie, I've got to ask you, what were you thinking as you walk out onto the pool deck?
Stay calm, play my own game. I know what my strengths are and just kind of roll with that.
It seemed like you were strong through this whole workout. Was that part of your strategy?
Well, I grew up swimming, so I'm pretty comfortable in the water, so I knew that I could pace out the swim and just have enough energy left to get through the bar muscle-ups.
Yeah, the bar muscle-ups, of course, that's a tricky part of this workout because you're wet, the bar is slippery. So what was your strategy for that move specifically?
Well, I have giant hands, so use those and hold on as hard as I can. That's pretty much it.
So they help you on the bar muscle-ups, so they help you move through the water too?
Maybe they're kind of like fins for fingers.
Well, hey, whatever it is, they are working for you.
Thank you.
Rory, great job. Thanks.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thanks, Amanda. So Rory Zambard will have to sit and watch this final heat to see if her time stands up. Currently 14 minutes, 6.5. But some very talented athletes in this final heat here. And if you're wondering why the times keep getting faster, these women were grouped in heats loosely based on their games and regional performances in the past. So your best performing athletes here in the final heat. 15 athletes